2021 marked the 25th anniversary of both Smokin' Cigars and Drew Estate. Hard to believe that 25 years have gone by so quickly. Both organizations have flourished over the 2.5 decades, growing from humble beginnings. In celebration of this commemorative milestone, I have decided to have a very special cigar made for our company, and who more fitting to approach than Drew Estate, also celebrating their 25th anniversary. Master blender Willie Herrera was tasked to create a very special cigar that was produced at the world-renowned El Titan de Bronze factory in the heart of Little Havana, Miami. This cigar would be symbolic of my life's journey. My journey as a man, entrepreneur, husband, and father. There has been no greater influence in all that has molded me than that of my father, Raji Ibrahim Debabna. This very special cigar and project is dedicated to my father. I hope you enjoy this mini documentary about this great man and the extraordinary cigar we created in his name, the Raji. Honest Dave here, smoking cigars with my father, Raji Debabna. Here we're going to talk about our 25th anniversary cigar that was graciously made for us by the fine folks at Drew Estate at the El Titan de Bronze factory in the famous Calle Ocho in Miami. So we started this project about a year ago, and Willie had started working on some blends, and they sent us some blends to try. And this was the cigar that when you were here for the Great Smoke earlier this year, we smoked in my office. Do you remember smoking it?
Yes.
So when I told you about the project, that I was going to do a 25th anniversary cigar, and I was going to name it after you, what did you think?
Well, I thought this was a joke.
Why did you think it was a joke?
I don't expect that.
Why not?
Well, it's once in a lifetime.
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell you how I came up with the idea. Last year, we got a press release saying that the Fuente family and the Padron family were working on a project together. And they were going to do cigars to pay tribute to their fathers, who had both passed away, Carlos Fuente Jr. and Jose Orlando Padron. And, you know, I was actually very close with Jose Orlando Padron because we used to go to Miami and visit him a lot. He used to have a nickname for me. He called me the El Gordo de West Palm Beach, which is the fat guy of West Palm Beach. And I was moved by that. I thought it was awesome that they were paying a tribute to their dads and they were going to work together to make each other's cigar. But then I started saying to myself, you know, it's such a shame because it probably would have been cool to see that project happen while their dads were still alive, right? So they're not even here to see it. So I said, why wait? So I said, you know, it's our 25th anniversary. I said, I think it'd be cool to make a cigar to pay tribute to my dad to celebrate our 25th anniversary. And the folks at Drew Estate were awesome. They were all excited when we told them about the project. They wanted to be involved. And they started working. I'm going to light this up first. They started working on this cigar that we smoked. And it was a blend that both my dad and I picked out, and chose, and we liked it, and we were very proud of it. Just going for you. Now these were rolled here in Miami. There's a very famous factory, El Titan de Bronze. And we're going to drive down shortly, and we're going to go visit it so I could show you where these cigars were rolled. This factory, they actually she has 10 rollers, Sandy, down there, and they roll cigars. Here, take that, try it. Right. Lit? Yeah. So Sandy has 10 rollers, and they make the cigars the old Cuban way, where instead of working in pairs, one roller makes the cigar. They bunch it, bind it, press it, and then add the wrapper. So we're going to go down there, and I think the fine folks at Drew Estate are going to be down there. We're going to see Willie Herrera, who actually worked on this blend, and it should be a very interesting ride. Now, Calle Ocho is a very famous street here in Miami where a lot of famous factories and very famous Cuban families have started businesses when they first came to this country. Almost everybody at one point had a factory down there rolling cigars, and there's a lot of small factories, and Sandy's one of them. And it's going to be very cool to go see her factory and actually see where the cigars are made. What do you think?
Very, very nice.
Now we got a special ride for you too.
Yeah?
Yeah, our good friend of ours hooked us up. We have a very special car to take us down. And we'll talk a little bit more about the project and the cigar. And I'm going to ask you questions because your dad, my grandfather, who was actually Abe, was actually a farmer.
He was a farmer.
Yeah, and he actually grew tobacco.
He was growing his own tobacco.
Right.
He used to smoke tobacco and he grown his own. And the first cut, that's for him.
The first harvest, the first cut.
Yeah.
That was
Harvest.
that was the one he would smoke.
He saved it and the rest he sell it.
I never saw my grandfather smoke.
Yeah.
He wasn't smoking.
No, when we moved to the city.
You know what he did smoke? I'm sorry. He smoked pipe.
Yeah.
He was a pipe smoker
Yeah.
when I can remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never.
But he used to have his own tobacco grown, and he let it sit for like few months, and then he used to have roll his own tobacco.
Did he roll it in like a cigarette?
Yes,
Cigarette
yeah,
form?
like cigarette form.
Wow.
Yeah, he never smoked packages
Yeah, just
till we moved to the city. He just started moving pipe.
yeah, because I remember him being a pipe smoker when I was growing up, and that was
That's pure tobacco, nothing, no
Right,
filler,
straight.
no nothing.
right.
That's why he died when he was 84 and he was in good health.
He was big guy too.
Big guy.
My grandfather was a big guy. Did you know you were going to name your first? So you have 8 brothers, and almost all of them have named one of their sons Abe after your father,
Yes.
my grandfather. Did you know you were going to name your first son? Did you?
Yeah,
You
we
planned
planned on that.
You all planned on it.
Five of us, we named the first son Abe.
That's wild.
5.
So we're going to finish smoking a little bit of the cigar.
Okay,
And then we're going to head down to Miami.
sounds good.
All right. So what was it like growing up with 10 kids? You guys were all kids at the same time, right?
No.
How old is your oldest brother? How old would your oldest brother be? I mean, what was the span of years from the oldest to the youngest of the 10 siblings?
My dad, he married the first one and he had 2 kids, Jamil and Jamal. And
That was the first 2 sons.
yes, and she died. And he.
So my first grandmother literally died.
Yeah. And after I don't know how many years, he married my mom, and she was like 15 years old, younger than him. Those days it was normal,
Right.
you know.
And
my mom had 6 boys and 2 girls.
so 10 total.
The 2 older brothers, they live in Amman with his mother.
So when
their
you-
mother.
So
They never live with us, you know. And my dad has a house in Amman, and they live in Amman. They used to go to school in Amman.
so they were older when you were growing
They
up.
were all
The 2 older brothers.
especially when I came probably number 5 in the family.
You were number 5 total.
4. No, I'm number 6 total.
6.
6.
So you're 6.
Yeah. But for my mom, I'm number 4.
Right. And the oldest 2 brothers were already living in the city.
Yes.
So it was 6 of you.
Yes.
But when you were being raised, you were raised in the small village called Naur.
Yes. We born and raised in Naur until I was 16. My dad was a farmer, and he used to grow his own grain, wheat, and chickpeas, and lentils, and everything.
And that's a real small village.
It is small village.
How many people do you think were in that town?
5,000.
Total.
Yeah. 5,000. And we used to go to school, and after school we used to help. You know?
Now I think it's a funny story. You tell me none of you guys really know when your birthday is.
The right birthday?
Yeah.
No.
Well, how come no one
Well,
knows?
the guy in charge in the village, he used to go when somebody born, he write them down. But when he used to go Amman once every 3 months, and he put the 30 or 40 who born in that period of 3 months in one day.
So he may have not gotten the dates
No.
right. So somebody from the little village had to go to the capital city.
Yeah, they call it alderman of that.
Right, the elderman.
Yeah.
the alderman of the village
Yeah,
would keep track of who was born,
yeah.
and about 3 or 4 times a year,
Probably he never was right.
he'd go to the capital city, and then
Put him on one day.
the birth certificates would come later. That's
Yeah.
funny. So, did you have to wake up and do farm work before you went to school?
Every day. I used to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock, help mom grab the lamb and the sheep, and she used to milk them. And
Grandma used to do the milking?
yeah, all of them. We used to have like 20, 30. She'd milk them every day.
Sheep.
Sheep and goats and lamb, and we never buy anything from outside. We have everything in the house. We have yogurt, we have butter, we
You
have
never went to the market.
no. The only thing we buy from the market, even produce, we grow our own produce. You know, back then they didn't have tomatoes and cucumber in the winter time. So tomatoes, we used to have sun-dried tomatoes or
Pickle them. Right, jar 'em.
or make paste and use them in the winter. And we used to do a lot of pickled olives, pickled cucumber, pickled green beans, and that's everything right. The only thing really we buy is sugar and rice, but even meat. When we have a guest, my dad kill the whole lamb or goat
Slaughter a lamb or goat.
and invite everybody, all people around.
That's great. So after you did your chores, you go to school.
Yeah, go to school, come back from school. You have to go to do some chore after work.
When did you have time to study?
I don't know about studying.
nobody really studied.
No, we study. I have to pass. I mean, but we were okay. I mean,
So
you know, back in the old days, you know, I mean, you have to study, you have to pass. You know, here it's easier than there. Here they give you some time during the day to study
Right.
in school, but over there no. Study.
So at one point, you got sent to be a priest.
Yeah, when I was 13, my dad, the priest of the village, came to my dad. You know, I have too many kids.
So that he just came like to recruit.
Yeah, he was recruiting from the village, you know, who have too many kids. Ask him, I need one of your kids to be a priest.
So wait, he just said, I need one.
I need one of your kids. And you think he asked me? No.
So what, did you ever wonder what made him pick you?
No.
Were you just the closest one?
No, probably I was the
Were you a troublemaker?
I wasn't a troublemaker. That's why he picked me.
He thought you'd make the best priest?
Yeah. Plus, you know, I mean, my 3 older brothers, they were all to go to be a priest.
How old were you at this
You
time?
have to be between 12 and 13.
Okay.
So when you go to be a priest, it's Roman Catholic priest, and it's 12 years.
So you were going to have to go be there for 12 years.
The first 5 years, you finish your high school,
Right.
just normal school. You get up 5:30 in the morning, you go church, mass, then after you go to mass, you go breakfast, then you go recess for about half an hour, then you go regular school. You know what I mean? Like you go to any
Middle school.
other school,
But that's through high school.
through high school.
And then you got another 7 years.
After you finish high school 5 years, you have the uniform on, the priest uniform,
Okay.
with the collar and everything.
Oh, they
on.
collar you at
They
that.
collar you
So at 18 years old, you would have been walking around with a collar.
with the collar, but you're not priest. You just, you know what I mean, student, still a student. The next 4 years, they teach you philosophy. 4 years philosophy. And the last 3 years, theology. You know what I mean? The class starts about 30. The first year, 15 out of 30, they send them back home. They don't deserve to be a priest.
So they cut
They're not smart. They're not, you know what I mean?
They're bad,
Yeah,
whatever. So
yeah.
they cut the class in
They
half
cut
after
the
1
class
year.
in 1 year.
After that, most of the people, they quit. You know, they don't.
So let me ask you something. Out of the class of 30, how many you think actually made it to be a priest?
One or none.
One or none? Wow.
Very, very rare to see two become a priest.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did you stay?
I stay only 2 years.
2 years.
It's really hard because It's like you go in jail. You only go see your family 2 weeks a year.
So they let you leave 2 weeks a year. That's it.
That's it. Even if your mom die, you can go home.
Wow.
And nobody could come and visit you.
Oh, so it's pretty lonely.
And if you want to go out, you have to have a chaperone with you the first 5 years. You know, when the priest go with you and you go out for a couple of hours, come back.
So when you quit, did you go and tell them I'm out of here?
I went to my counselor, which is a priest, and I told him, Father, I really don't, I don't want to stay here. He said, son, why you want to go back home? It's good for you, and you know what I mean? He said, take a week, think about it, and come back after 1 week.
So they let you go home for a week?
No.
Oh.
He said, go, you know, stay.
Think about it here for a week?
Yeah. And then Montessori. He stayed for a week, you know, and seminary. And, you know, you might change your mind and everything. See, really, to stay in a school, it's a great school. You come out with 5 languages, speak fluently. The first 2 years, you speak French fluently. The first 2 years. You can't speak your own language in the school. You have to speak French. The third year, they teach you Italian. The 5 years, after you have the robe, then you have option, either it's your Hebrew or German,
Latin.
or, you know what I mean, another. So you have English, Italian, French, and another language, you know what I mean? So
You always said you wish you'd stayed a little bit longer.
yeah, if I stay a little longer, I you know what I mean? But, I mean,
So what happened after the week? You went back and said, I'm out of here?
I went to my counselor again, I want to leave. You know, they will let the other people, the other kids know. They come 5 o'clock in the morning, they pull you out of your bed and you leave.
But you had to have told the other kids you were leaving.
Yes,
I mean, they knew.
they know.
But they try to hide it.
They hide.
They don't want everybody leaving.
Exactly.
So they took you at 5 in the morning?
Yeah, and the people who really let them go, they do the same thing. They don't even know they want to go home.
They just
They
pick
just
them
come,
up 5 in the morning.
come in the morning. Come on, we need you.
Wow.
Put your stuff together and go home.
So when you went home, did your dad know you quit?
No, I just walk in the house. What happened? I quit. So I have to go back to my regular school. But a lot of things, when we were in seminary, we don't take like geometry. We don't take
Right.
geometry.
So you were behind.
So I'm behind 2-3 years. I don't know nothing about geometry.
Wow.
You know.
So at this point, you got to be what, like 15, 16?
I was 16. Then I supposed to go for my high school. You know what I mean? The 2 years of my high school. The village where I am, they don't have high school.
That's Naur,
Yeah,
the
no.
little village.
So we have to go to Amman.
How far is Naur from Amman, the
It's not
capital?
too far, about half an hour.
It's only about a half an hour from the
Yeah,
capital city.
yeah.
Okay.
But they already have 3-4 guys in Amman, and it's no room for me.
So when it came time to go to high school, my grandfather had a house in the capital that
They do have a house.
but your brothers were already there.
I have the 2 older brothers there, plus I have my cousin Waji, plus Saad and Isa.
So you didn't have
So
a.
many people. You know
So
what
what happened when you were
Most of-
18? Instead of going to high school,
I mean? I was 17. I went to the Air Force.
you went to the Air Force.
Yeah, man.
The Jordanian Air Force.
So the Air Force, I stayed 6 years.
Okay, so when you went to the Air Force back then, you mandatory had to go for 2 years, right?
No,
You didn't.
volunteering.
But didn't they have the mandatory?
They after
That was after.
that.
So you volunteered it back then.
I volunteered for 3 years. I signed 3 years.
You signed up to go to 3 years to the Air Force. And
Yes.
and what did you do in the Air Force?
I was working inside the base, you know, they take care of the airplane parts and all the things, you know what I mean?
Were you in the Air Force during any of the wartime there?
No,
Lucky.
I left like 2-3 months before 6 war.
So
I was in the Air Force for 6 years.
I thought you said
and-
you only signed up for
Okay,
3.
I signed for 3 years. After 3 years, I said, I want to quit. They said, you can't quit.
So they wouldn't let you quit.
The Air Force owns you. You can't quit.
So they literally said the Air Force owns you.
Yeah. And after that, I said, shit, what are we going to do? I even have somebody know that my supervisor, he wrote to the headquarters, we don't need him here. He said, if you don't need him here, we could send them somewhere else.
But keep them in the Army.
We
But
don't,
keep them
yeah,
in the Air Force.
we don't want to let them go.
So they're just not letting anybody in.
The only way I have to do now, go through medical leave.
So you finished your first 3 years. How many more years did you spend? Did you spend a whole nother
Three and a half more years, 6.5.
So you finished the second 3 years.
3 years and 3.5.
Okay, so at the end of the second 3 years, did you try to go home again?
They won't let me. You know, after 3 years, I'm free. But you know, what I mean, you could.
But they said that you're never gonna get out.
That's what they think. You know, they give me some ranks. You know what I mean? But they won't let me go out. Then
So how did you eventually get out of the Air Force?
I went to the doctor who used to be on the base, and he's a friend of my brothers in the same school. And I told him the story. I said, I got an Air Force. I don't know nothing about it, and I want to get out to finish my education. I started studying at night to finish my education.
While you were in the Air Force?
While in the Air Force, and I have passport. I said, if they won't let me, I want to run away.
You were going to leave the country?
Yes, you leave the country.
Really?
Yes, and if you leave the country, you can't come back.
Yeah, if you leave like that, you're gone.
At least they have, you know what I mean, the king forgive or something or whatever. Pardon. Anyway, I studied 2 years, like in high school. I have one more year, but one time they tried to send me to the U.S. for a course. I went to the American Embassy. I passed the test.
Now, if they sent
about 10 people, only 2 passed the test, me and another guy.
If they had sent you to the U.S., you probably wouldn't have come back.
You know, that's why my plan. I told my supervisor, when I went to the Army, I have somebody who knows
Air Force.
The hospital. I have the guy who's discharge. Somebody knows him. So I went there, I told him my story, and he dismissed me. You know, he said, you out. If you know what I mean. And I have no medical problem, but you know what I mean. I have somebody who knows him. He let me go.
So you ended up getting somebody to hook you up and get.
Then the guy in charge of me in the Air Force, he called me to his office. He said, "You have a course to go to the United States, Texas, or you have discharge. What do you like to have?" I said, "If I go to the United States, you think they let me out?" He said, "No. I'm gonna spend money on you, and I'm gonna let you out." So I said, I want to leave.
So he discharged you.
They discharged me.
But if you,
it was like March or April 1967.
But if you didn't know that one guy in the medical,
no way in the world.
You would have never gotten out.
I found his son by mistake.
By chance.
I was going down from the base, which was in Amman, Marca. I was going home, Jebel Amman, and
Jebel Amman means the mountain.
Yeah, that's where we live. And he saw me in the streets. What's going on? I said, the problem is so and so and so and so. And
I want to get out.
The guy who's in charge of the medical committee, his name is so and so. He said, "You sure he's the guy?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Come with me to my house." I went with him without anybody from my family knows. You know, I went with him to his house, and he grabbed the phone and he called. Luckily, there was no cell phone then.
He answered the phone.
He answered the phone, and he told him the story. He said, "I got a friend of my son, he's so, and he."
So it was your friend's dad that knew the guy.
Yeah, and he said, "You know, I want him to, you know, he the one that was just let him leave." It's okay. The next day, right away.
It really shows.
It
depends who you know sometimes, not what you know.
Right. Sometimes you have to be lucky. Honest to God. And I left the Air Force. What shall I do? You know, I mean, my dad, he knows.
So now you got to be 20.
I was 23.
Yeah, 23 now.
Yeah.
And now what did you do? You go back to the capital city? Or did you go back to the village?
No, we were living in Amman then.
So everybody was.
We moved in 1962.
Okay. So everybody was in the capital.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I have 2 options. Either I was hoping to come to America.
You wanted to. Was that
I
your
want to
plan?
do, but I have nobody. I don't know nobody there.
So let me ask you a question. You're growing up in Jordan. What makes you say to yourself, I want to go to America?
I just want to get out of it. You know what I mean? Without education, what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
What made you
hard.
think that America was going to be different?
Because everybody,
There's no TV back then.
Everybody knows to go to America, you have a fortune. They think they find the money in the street.
That's how they felt.
Exactly.
But there was no TV back then, so what do you just like
No,
reading it?
we have TV.
There was TV?
Yeah,
Okay.
since 1955 we have TV.
Okay.
Back the old days, we hear news all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we know the common knowledge about the world and everybody. My dad, my brother, my two brothers, Jamil and Ishaq, working in a construction company, seminary. Okay, he have a big one of the biggest in Jordan. And he said, "You want to work with him?" I said, "No, I don't want to work. I want to have my own place,
So at 23, you wanted your own business.
my own business."
So what did you do?
We didn't have no money then.
I know. That's what I'm saying. What did you do?
We have to go and borrow some money. You know what I mean, which is not a lot. You know,
Who did you
I
borrow money from back then? A bank? Or somebody?
somebody. And my dad was a farmer, but we think he farmed the whole year. He don't make $500.
You can say it. You don't
I
make
know.
$500.
Yeah, the whole year. But $500 you could buy half Amman then.
Right, and plus you didn't have to buy food back then growing
No, you
up
didn't
or
have
whatever.
to buy nothing.
So and he
Yeah.
built his own home.
He bought a land and
Right.
built his own home. You know what I mean?
So whatever he made was extra.
three story.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we opened up a business next to the construction company,
What kind of business you open up?
grocery,
A little grocery store.
little grocery store, and then
Like a convenient market store or like a
small store, a small convenience
like a
store.
corner store?
Yes. Then after probably 3-4 years, you know what I mean, through somebody we know, we get liquor license, which is hard to get it in Jordan. You know what I mean?
So you made that little store a liquor store?
Liquor store and grocery.
Both.
We used to sell everything. You know what I mean? We work in a store, me and Uncle Robert Wasif.
So he's your youngest brother.
Yeah, he was working with me. And we started in 1967. And your uncle, Dr. Debabna, he finished his medical degree in Damascus, Syria. And he passed the exam to come to the United States.
So this is your older brother, one of your older brothers.
Yeah. My 2 years older than me, Dr. Debabna. And
So my uncle Musa, who's a doctor,
yeah.
passed his degree in Damascus, and then when he comes to the States,
He have his degree, medical degree from Damascus University, because we didn't have a university in Jordan. Either you have to go to Damascus or you go to Egypt. But Damascus is closer and probably a little bit cheaper for my dad because they have no money.
they all had to pitch in, right?
They all had to pitch in.
All the brothers helped them to school.
Sometimes my dad, he used to borrow money so he could go to school. And he finished his medical degree in Damascus, and he, right away, he studied for exam, which is hard, whatever they call it, and he passed, which is hard. Some people graduate from Mexico or the islands, they can't pass it. And he came to Chicago. That's why I ended up in Chicago.
He came to the University of Chicago.
He came to Mercy Hospital in Chicago for internship.
Oh, right, internship.
Yeah.
He had finished school.
Oh, he done.
That's right. So he came to internship.
Internship and residency.
And those guys work like 24-hour days.
They work in an emergency room all day, and it's tough.
So he was here in Chicago
He was in Chicago in June 1970.
in 70.
Then he saw some people from our country. They have a supermarket and they open up, and they doing okay. And
Some people that you knew from your village back home.
Yeah.
That he knew of.
It's not rich from the whole Middle East,
Right.
from Palestine, from Jordan.
Oh, he just saw other Arabs.
Through his work.
Right.
They used to, some people, they used to work in the hospital.
So did he call you and say, come?
They are not called there. If you want to call from when I came in 1970, if you from United States to call Jordan, it take you 2 days to get the phone.
Really?
Yes,
So how did you communicate?
through messages, through
Mail.
letters.
You writing letters?
Yes.
So did he write you a letter?
He wrote me a letter. He said, "About to come and try here, and I mean, I see some people who are doing good here." I said, "Why not? That's my dream since I was 16." Then, to go get a visa to come to the United States is not easy. It's hard. So I know I have my own store, so I was in,
You knew
the
people.
commerce.
And you knew
what I mean?
people.
Yeah, they gave me good recommendation. One of my clients, he used to work in an Arab bank in Jordan. It's the biggest bank in Jordan. He gave me another good recommendation that he could go to United States and he could support himself. And I
Now
told
these
him,
recommendations are to the U.S. Embassy.
yes, to the council.
So let them say, hey, this
Oh,
is...
yeah.
Okay.
Because one out of probably 100 to get a visitor visa then. So I went there and I stayed all day and I couldn't see the council. And I was hungry. Like 3, 4 o'clock, I went to a nice restaurant close by to eat. And the guy who was doing all the paper for the council,
Is there eating?
he was there eating. He asked me what happened with it. I said, I didn't see the council. So I told the waiter, I'll pay for his the dinner. I'll pay for his dinner.
His meal.
Yeah, for his meal. So when we done, he went and pay. He said, the guy paid for you. He said, come on, tomorrow I'll get you the first guy.
And did he get you in the first guy?
And he got me the first guy and I saw the council and he gave me the visa.
Wow.
And I came to this country in 1971.
What happened with your liquor store when you came?
I gave it to Uncle Isa.
So you gave it to one of your brothers?
Yes, Uncle Isa was running it. He was working supervisor for a big store in Amman, Bijali. So he came and run it for 2 years. And I told him, if I stay in the United States, it's yours. If I don't stay, I'll come back and take it. You know what I mean? I came to the state
In the middle of winter.
January 11, which is the worst time of the year, man. So cold.
And you never seen snow.
And Uncle Musa, no, we see snow once in a while.
In Jordan?
Yes.
Really?
Every 2, 3 years, snow, yeah.
But you see like nothing
No,
snow.
about an inch, 2 inches, you know what I mean? Hard, you know what I mean, to see more than that. And when there's snow there, everybody happy because they're out of school for a week. Then I came here. My brother, they give him apartment across from the hospital.
This is your brother, the doctor, who's
Yeah.
doing the residence.
Yeah. They have his own apartment because that's all for the doctors.
You stayed there?
I stay there. This poor guy, he go to work 7 o'clock, he comes 7 o'clock at night, tired. Because he work in emergency room all day long. And you know how it's a bad area in
Oh,
Chicago.
Trauma is a lot of trauma.
Yeah, 26 and King Drive.
Yeah.
West area.
A lot of trauma.
So he come home, I'm tired, I want to sleep. I said, shit, I've been sleeping all day. I'm tired too. Because
You didn't know where to go.
I didn't know.
You couldn't leave.
There was nobody there then.
Right.
By the time I came in 1970, nobody from my relative here. I don't know nobody. Him and my in-laws. My in-laws, they were living. Wasn't my in-laws then, but they were living far away from me.
And you really didn't know them that
Don't
well.
know very well,
You just
no.
knew of them.
Yes.
You knew
No,
the family.
I know the father and the mother and Mansour and
You know of them. It's not like you.
No,
Right.
not relative.
Not close. You just know them.
And they came to see me. And
Wait. They came to see you. Why? Because they just heard you came to America.
I have something for them.
Oh, you bought something.
Their
for them.
family sent something.
Oh,
for
okay.
them.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah.
So their family back
They-
in Jordan said
because
something.
then, once in the blue moon, somebody from Jordan come to the United States.
Right. So people want to send stuff.
Yeah, they sent some stuff to take it with me, and I brought it with them.
They heard that Debabna was going, and they knew
Yeah.
you're going to
Oh,
Chicago.
we know each other, yeah.
Right.
So I brought it, and they come to pick it up, and they said, well, you have to come Sunday for dinner by our house. We went there by our house. Uncle Musa, he have no car then, you know what I mean? Never.
My mom's brother.
No,
Oh,
no. My brother, he didn't have no car. You know what I mean?
So
He
you
was going to work, come back. Going to work, come
Right.
back.
So they had to come pick you up, or how'd you get to their house?
Yeah, they come. Mansour was driving. They come and pick us up.
And so was my mom's oldest
Yes.
brother. Uncle.
So we went there, and the family was there, and you know, your mom wasn't 19 years old. I was 25, 26 then, and Musa, he said, "You like to stay?" I said, "Well, I would love to stay, but I want to stay legally. I don't want to stay illegally." You know what I mean? I could stay illegally for 100 years. Nobody knows.
Back
This
then.
country.
Yeah.
And I get my Social Security on the spot.
Really?
It wasn't hard. Yeah. Uncle Musa, Dr. Debabna, he sent the guy working in a hospital with me next day to the Social Security.
And they
give
gave
it to me on the spot. And I'm a visitor. And within probably 2-3 months, I have a driver license. I bought a car. You know what I mean? It was everything normal.
When you came to the country, you said you bought a car.
Yes.
How much money did you come with?
You know, we pay $500. You know, Uncle Musa, how money? I have money when I came.
I know how much you had.
$500. The whole car is $3,500.
No, but you came to the country with 500.
No, I came with money.
How much did you come with?
Or probably,
Remember?
I don't remember exactly, but it was probably a few thousand, couple thousand, 3,000. You know what I mean? That's why I save. You know what I mean? Because I don't sell my business. If I sell
Right,
my
right.
Business, if I sell my business, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
So you only had a few $1,000 in your pocket when you
$2,000.
came.
You know, I was then. You know what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So I really work with through Dr. Debabna. He knows somebody in a hospital. His cousin have a grocery store in a nice area.
So your brother got you a job.
Yeah, I work in the store for about 6-7 months.
Grocery store.
Grocery
What
store.
were you doing?
Working everything, you know, and the meat and
Now you worked in the meat department.
I was helping. I didn't know nothing about
Right.
meat then. But
Whatever
I was
they
helping.
needed, you did.
Whatever it is. Sometimes he give me the money, take it to the bank. I do it. He wasn't working there. His wife was for sure. His wife American, but the guy is Palestinian. Nice people. Then after few months, my father-in-law. I came January 11, and I was married March 13 within 2 months.
Okay, well you skipped that whole part.
Yeah. I wasn't planning to get married. No plan whatsoever. Not even 1 out of 1,000. But when you told me, you know, that the only way you could stay in this country you had to get married, my wife, she was here before me. She was in the state before me, and she have a green card. She didn't have citizenship. But then, green card is better than citizenship.
It worked
now.
the same.
I apply and her green card. I got my green card within 5 months.
So you married my mom
Yeah.
so you could stay in the country.
Yes. Yeah.
So what did she
That's
think?
only way.
What did she think about that?
Nothing. They don't think about it. I wasn't thinking about it that way too. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I figured I'm gonna marry for life. You know what I mean?
There was no romance.
No. You know, I saw her probably twice in my life before that.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
But in our days, wasn't romance. You know what I mean. You know the family. You know the lady, and that's all.
Did they ask her?
They did. Yeah. Father asked her. Yeah.
So my grandfather asked my mom.
He asked her, but my mom, your mom, she said, Dad, you know the family, you know what I mean, nice people. That's all you need. You know what I mean? Did we go out on date? No, not even one time. Probably. I got married March 13, and Dr. Debabna, he was so nice. He brought us to come on honeymoon to Miami.
So you came to Miami.
We came to Miami, and we're supposed to stay in Miami a few days and go on a cruise to the Bahamas.
Oh wow.
But when we went to the port, and my passport, one application visa. So they told me, if you leave, you can't come
Can't
back.
come back. Oh my God.
So we have to come back from the port to the hotel. And lucky the hotel, they took us back too. You know what I mean?
So you just stayed in Miami.
We stay in Miami for the whole time.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah. We have a good time? No.
Why?
Because I was dumb and she's dumber than me. We don't know nothing about the country. We don't know nothing. A guy came from Jordan 2 months, you think he knows everything? No.
What'd you need to know? You got a beach.
We get invited by two company. They sit in houses and
Oh, that's funny.
you go there and you eat and drink and everything. Then they grab you for 2-3 hours. They try to sell you.
Yeah, they still do that.
They still do that. Yeah.
So,
And we don't know what they're talking about.
so how weird is it to be on a honeymoon and you barely know each other?
Well, I mean,
That's just the way it was back then.
That's the way you work. You know what I mean?
And
At least I know your mom. I know where she come from. And some people before they don't even see each other till the day they get married.
wow.
Yeah.
So, and on top of all that, this year you celebrated your 50th wedding anniversary.
Yes.
50 years.
That's why I'm going to Jordan and throw a big party there.
Are you? Is that what you're going
Yes.
for? You going when?
I'm gonna book September 1st.
Good for you. 50 years. So now you and mom get married. You finish your honeymoon.
Yeah, we came back and me and her, we work in a company for 2 months. Then I told him I don't want to work in a company. You know how much my pay? $2 an hour. That's the minimum then.
Listen, you want to hear something crazier?
Yeah.
My first job was only $3.35. It didn't get that much more.
I know, but $2 an hour. Then I worked 2 months. I told Dr. Debabna, I came here not to work in a factory. I came here to have a business. So I worked with this guy from May probably till September. My father-in-law got sick. Then
My mom's father got sick.
yeah, my father-in-law had a heart attack. But luckily he was okay. Then they asked me, "You want to work with us?" I said, "Yeah, I'll work with you." They gave me $30 raise a week, which is, and they used to take me, bring me every day with them on a car. And I work.
So you were working with
I
them
worked
after you
with
got
them
married.
from September till probably about 5, 6, 7 months. Uncle Mansour, he got shot in a store.
My mom's oldest brother.
Yes,
He got shot working
he
in the
got
store.
shot. It was Sunday. I was off that day.
Wow.
And after that, they said, we're going to sell the store. We're going to sell the store.
They didn't like the area.
No, it was the worst area in town. But that's the only way the Arabs make money.
They would go open up where
Yeah.
nobody would open stores.
There's a lot of food
Bad-
stands.
in bad areas.
A lot of, you know what I mean? And when they sold the store, now I'm on my own. Between me and Uncle Musa, we have about $9,000. He wasn't making a lot of money.
No, he was an intern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and your brother had about $9,000.
Yeah. So now we gotta find us a store. We look around and we found a store next to the White Sox Park, about 2 blocks north of that. It's a small store owned by policeman Chicago, and his aunt run it.
Now the White Sox Park wasn't that good of a neighborhood back then either.
No,
Cabrini Green.
but the area, run by Italian and Croatian, and very tough. You know what I mean? Very, very, very. They will let nobody come there. But my first store, the rent was $83 a month. A month. I used to have 5 dozen sweet rolls every day coming from the bakery. Cost me 5 cents, sell it for 10 cents. I make all my expenses.
On the sweet rolls.
And the sweet rolls, just sweet rolls.
How many square feet was the store?
Probably less than 1,000, probably 1,000.
Small place.
Small.
And you and mom ran it together?
Yeah, I go in the morning. You were 6 months old. She bring you, put you in the crib in the back, and we.
So I was going to work at 6 months old.
Yeah. And she run the cash. We have a small meat department, and we work together. Then Uncle Isa came in 1973.
So you convinced your older brother to come?
Yeah.
So in
Well,
1970,
he have his daughter was sick. He tried to bring her here, see if he could help, but she died after a year or two.
I remember soon.
Yeah. Then we worked together for almost a year and a half.
In that
and-
little store together?
No.
Okay.
When he came, I sold the store to Aunt Kifa and her husband.
So you sold it to my mom's sister.
Yeah, because it was a good store.
Right.
I made good money out of it.
But you wanted something bigger now.
Yeah,
Because your brother
because we are two people now.
Yeah.
And we bought a nice store in Beverly Hills in Chicago. Nice, fluently rich people.
Not Beverly Hills. Beverly.
Beverly.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Beverly, Chicago.
Beverly, Chicago. Beverly.
How big was that store?
This one was at least probably 25 to 30,000. It wasn't a big store, but well known in the meat part. You know, the people who are customer, they're all Irish. They own car dealer, lawyers.
Just wanted steak
You know what I
and
mean?
meat.
They all, and when the ladies used to come to the store, how many kids got 10? How many kids got 12? How many kids got?
Wow.
They all, you know, Irish, they have kids, man. And she used to come, shop, sign the ticket, and go. We deliver.
Really?
Never take anything with her. And we used to send the statement at the end of the month, and they send us a check. We stay there till my brother I's daughter died, and they decide to go back home. We sold the store.
Did he go back home? I don't remember that.
No, they didn't go back home.
Oh, okay. He said he was going to go back home.
Yeah. But then
When you say go back home, he's going to go back to Jordan.
to Jordan.
Okay.
Then
So you sold the store because he said he was going to go
yeah,
back.
we're gonna go back. And
Now, you weren't planning on going back.
he wanted me to go back. I said I'm not going back, you know. But
Why did he want you to go back? You don't know. But you didn't want to go back.
I
for
didn't
sure.
go back. I definitely didn't want to go back. I what? I said go find us something to do. We'll go, but go to the, you know what I mean. Anyway, after that, AMP was a big
Grocery chain.
grocery chain in Chicago. They went out of business. So we started looking, and we found a nice store in Arlington Heights.
The AMP was a big store.
AMP is a big store.
Like 20, 30,000. I mean, they're big stores.
The one we were in Arlington Heights is about 15,000 square feet.
Okay, big
20,
store.
20, yeah. And it was a big chain.
And
AMP.
Arlington Heights is a nice area.
Yeah, nice area. We bought it in 1975. We stayed till
I
1970.
remember that
We bought
store.
it cheap, $15,000.
Wow.
The whole store.
You ended up being a
Because-
journeyman butcher, pretty much.
Because, you know, when you work in a store, that's my belief. You have to learn from mopping the store to count the money. You have to learn everything. Because some of the time the butcher didn't show up. So I have to learn. You know what I mean?
Who taught you? Was it another butcher?
No, through watching the butchers, and you know what I mean, and I learned. You know what I mean?
You learned by work.
Yeah, you know what I mean. How you learn to be a cigar man?
Yeah, same way, I guess.
Yeah. So, because sometimes, like today, your waitress is the girl, the
bartender.
bartender. She said she can't come to work. You know what I mean? If the butcher he don't show up, I have to run the show. You can't keep close. And most of our business was meat.
So you got to know how to cut the cow.
Oh yeah.
So a guy you were buying meat from told you that there was a store in Evanston. The guy
I
wanted
was
to sell it.
a salesman. He said, if you want to look for a store, I know a nice small store, and he doing good business. And the guy been there for a long time. He want to get rid of it. So when I was still in the store, I went to look at it, and it was a good store, small, and it wasn't expensive.
The guy who owned it was Bill.
His name is Bill. He's a Polish guy. Him and his wife run it. Yeah.
So while you were in Jordan, you told your brother, go look at Bill's really
Yeah.
good store.
And he went there, and it was 4th of July. And you know how busy 4th of July is. Packed.
We grew up working every
Yeah.
holiday at the store.
So when we come back, we talk with the guy, and we have a deal, and we bought it. And
You had that store.
when we bought the store, the guy told us buy the building, but we don't buy the building. You know what I mean? Which is stupid. But we put the lease. We have the option to buy it in 5 years.
Which you guys ended up doing.
We after 5 years, you know what I mean? We bought the building, and really the guy was nice. He said, "You don't have to pay me. Just pay me on payment for 10 years." You know what I mean? And we bought it, and thank God we bought it. You know what I mean?
Now,
We work in barrels since 1977
till I moved to Florida. About a year.
Till 1994. Then your brother, he decided to quit. You know what I mean? My brother.
So you ran it with my uncle
Yeah.
till 1994.
Yeah, he would take care of the front, I take care of the back.
He handled the
meat.
grocery. You
I
handled,
handled the meat.
you handled the meat
Yeah.
department.
After when you got out of college, you come work with me 3 years, and you did a lot of good things in the store, and we doubled the business. But
You didn't want me in the store.
No, not that I want you. I want you to take over the business.
Well, I know, but you never wanted me to go into the grocery. I mean, obviously, you wanted me to go to college,
Yeah.
right?
Anyway,
Actually, what happened was, I came back from college. I don't know, school wasn't my thing. I wasn't that interested in school. I came back from college. I started working with my mom's brother, my uncle Musa.
yeah.
I started doing some stuff. Then I started my own graphics company.
Mhm.
And I was making good money. I remember you lent me my first $5,000 to go buy computer equipment. I had to go buy my first Apple, my scanner, my laser printer. I think you lent me $5,000. I think I paid you back in 7 months. I was making good money, but I wasn't working hard. I was only 20, I don't know what I was at the time, 22 maybe, 23. I wasn't working hard because I was making a lot of money at one time, and then I wouldn't work for a while. That drove you crazy. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah.
You say, what kind of job is that?
You were living in a basement.
I would stay up 2 nights, do a job, and not work for a couple of weeks. So you made me go to work
Yeah.
3 days a week. You said, come to work at the store 3 days a week. And I did. And then my uncle wanted to retire.
Yeah.
And then we ran the store for,
Really, it was a good story,
it was a great store.
It was a great story, you know what I mean?
So what happened was, and I don't know if you remember, like you said, when I came on board, we did good. We doubled the business.
Yeah.
Centrella. So at this time, I was also distributing cigars in Chicago.
Yeah, you
I
still
got
do.
in cigars.
You still doing
I was-
a humidor.
I was
and
putting
cigar.
humidors and stuff like that. I was doing the family business, and they came to us. They wanted to give us Asbury Market. Do you remember?
But I remember, yeah.
So at that time, I kind of said to myself, if we do Asbury Market and we took over this other grocery store,
Yeah.
I'd never get out of the grocery business.
Yeah.
I would probably be in the groceries for my life.
Yeah.
So I came to Florida to think about it, because I was trying to open up a cigar shop in Chicago. My buddy had the one
Well,
here.
we went a couple of times with you. We went to Highland Park. We went to look around.
Yeah, and I was working on that lease with McDonald's in Winnetka.
I remember.
And I came to Florida to just kind of really think about what I wanted to do. I was supposed to come for 10 days. And then what happened?
I never came back.
You know, and I got to be honest with you, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm really sorry about that. You know, I just left. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't give you no warning. But when I left, I didn't know I was going to not come back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't leave. I was really coming here just to...
Yes, you do, because you pack all your stuff.
No, Dad, I didn't.
No?
No.
Okay.
I came, listen to me, I had no idea I was going to stay, because I would just come in to visit and see what I was going to do. And then you got mad. I didn't come home for 2 or 3 months. I was here without a car. I flew here.
I thought you'd come with
No,
us.
man. I came on vacation. I flew here.
Okay.
I didn't have a car. You got mad, of course, when I told you I wasn't coming back. And then it wasn't until 2 or 3 months later, when you calmed down, I flew back home, loaded everything in my car, and then came back to Florida. I was driving Jerry's car for a while. I had no car here for 2 or 3 months.
Okay. And you stay with Jerry?
Yeah. I
In
lived
the same
with him
house?
in the apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Jerry ended up getting a new car, and I took his car
Yeah.
for a while.
But you stay with him in an apartment,
Yeah, we lived together.
and you end up on it.
He ended up moving out, and then I ended up buying it. I came here in July. I ended up buying it, I think, in October, November.
had to be more.
No way, not Boynton. Boynton's been 12 years.
Boynton's over 10. It opened when Zara was born. Zara's 11.
Wow, look at that already. You see how time goes?
2010, 2011.
Just what? Oh, Zane's 11. That's right. Wrong kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
And you got 4, bro. It happens, man. Wrong kid.
God.
So when we were told, when we wanted to work on this cigar for our 25th anniversary, and we went to find guys over at Drew Estate, we were super excited when they told us you were going to work on this here at this historic factory. So Willie, why don't you tell us a little bit about this cigar that you blended?
Man, so you know, when the opportunity came up to work on something new, you know, for me, I love that creativity part of creating a cigar, a blend. So I always look for something new, something different, something that we haven't done necessarily out of the factory, or something that I've done for one of my blends, whether it's the Habano, the Norteño, the Brazil. So I look, you know, elsewhere to all the different types of tobaccos that we have access to here. So the blend, you know, it's a Mexican San Andres wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, and then a combination or a blend of Dominican tobacco with Nicaraguan tobacco. Now, in that Nicaraguan tobacco, as you've seen, you know, earlier today, we're a small factory, so we're going to use a whole lot of tobacco. So because of that, we get to get sometimes some special tobacco that we don't, you know, use.
That can't be used in a big run.
Exactly. So one of those tobaccos, which is in this blend, is a tobacco called Medio Tiempo. So that's a very special tobacco because people who grow tobacco typically keep all that tobacco for themselves, especially if they also manufacture cigars for themselves.
They want it.
Right. Because each plant will give you 1, 2, maybe 3 leaves of that tobacco.
Really?
And so you have an idea, you know, when they're doing the primings of all the plants in the fields, once they pick all of the tobacco, the secos, the visos, the ligeros, they leave the stalks in the ground. And those stalks sometimes will give 2, sometimes 3 more leaves at the very top. That's called Medio Tiempo.
Oh, wow.
So the result is a very rich, flavorful, strong tobacco because now it's getting all the nutrients from the ground, from that stalk, just for those few leaves that are growing up there. But again, not every plant's gonna give you 2 to 3. Maybe one gives you 1, maybe some don't give you none.
The yield is really low.
Very low. So everybody keeps that. But because of our, you know, our relationship that we've built over the years with these different growers, they'll sell us a bale or 2, and that holds us off for 6 months, 7 months, because we don't use that much of it. And so that's in here as well.
Wow.
So it's a very special blend, man. Very special cigar. Very different and unique from anything in the Drew Estate portfolio, anything in the Herrera Esteli portfolio. It's just, you know, its own thing that's just unique.
Well, we're deeply honored, honestly, man. Very excited. This has been a great day here, meeting with your family. And like I said, this is my first time, actually, I can't believe it, in this factory. And I would have never even pictured how much little space you guys have to work with.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing some of the incredible projects that have come out of this factory, and the cigars that are made here every day by everybody even working now.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. So super excited. Can't wait to see what the final product looks like, but we've been smoking these cigars and they've been fantastic. So very honored. Thank you very much for being part of this
thank you guys, man. Thanks
special
for the opportunity.
project, you know, commemorating our 25 years in the business. And also we named it after my father as a tribute to my dad, who you just had a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Cracks you up, right? Funny guy.
Great guy, man.
So
great guy.
Yeah, we're very honored. Thanks for being part of it, Willie. I appreciate it.
brother.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
done.
you guys.
The Raji. Right here. So what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, very cool.
Nice,
One of the nicest lady I ever seen in my life.
right? Great place.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very proud that we got these guys to make the cigar for us.
She's super nice.
Yeah, very
Super
excited.
nice, super hard-working lady, man.
Very hardworking lady.
Yeah, man. I
Great
never
cigar.
seen- This lady, she's something else.
That's who made the Raji. Now we're gonna head back up to the headquarters. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Let's go.
So, Dad, yesterday we had a pretty interesting day, huh?
Very interesting. The best day of my life.
I don't know, the best day of your life.
One of the best day of my life.
Don't let Mom hear that.
That's okay.
But you,
She don't mind.
but what an amazing little place, huh?
Oh gosh.
And you got to see your cigars sitting there that they made.
That lady, she's super, super, super nice.
Yeah, Sandy's
what I
pretty
mean? Oh
amazing.
my gosh. She's super nice.
And Willie, who did a great job with this blend. Thank God they gave us a few extra. We could smoke until they ship it. But I was shocked to find out that they don't just make the cigars there because their place is so small. They do all the finishing packaging there. So they're going to get the boxes and the bands, and then they're going to band them and box them and finish them. So I think that's amazing that they do that all in that small space. In fact, they were just telling us on one of their projects that they received, just the boxes, they couldn't even put it in the little factory. They had to put it in their garages, and they bring the boxes over as much as they can and produce it. But what a great time! And I'm going to send them a little care package. Thank you today. They were host. They insisted on treating us to a Cuban sandwich. Was that your first Cuban sandwich?
That's the first my Cuban sandwich.
That was the first.
I have a Cuban meal, but I never have a Cuban sandwich, which is good. Really, very good.
Very
Very
famous.
tasty.
I just want you to know that all the yelling and all the screaming kind of paid off. I think it helped.
It pay off very, 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 very good.
I think it helped make me who I am today, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this cigar and call it the Raji and give you tribute, because I find myself very much saying the exact things that my dad would yell or say to me in the many years that I worked for him. Because even before I worked with you in the grocery store, running it, I was helping as far back as we can remember.
Yeah, since you were 8, you and your brother, I used to take you to the store, and that's why you have idea about the business and how to run a business and how to take care of the business, and that will help when you get older.
It did help. And in fact, I have Petra now, my oldest daughter,
That's what I told her this morning.
she's in the warehouse working right now.
That's what I told her. You got to learn when you're young, and when you get older, you have some idea,
getting
and you have a business idea.
getting the warehouse
Yeah.
ready. So she's working too. I always wonder if I'd stayed in Chicago, if I'd have multiple grocery stores or the grocery business is really hard in Chicago.
It's
it's so competitive. There's so many big guys out there.
Oh yeah, especially now.
Yeah, I just don't know. But
But you have to be so big and power buying. That's where they make the money.
even in this business,
Oh yeah,
it's a lot in the
That's
buying.
Same thing, any business.
It's a lot in the buying.
The more you buy, the more cheaper you get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Where you take advantage of special deals. It's a lot in the buying, but I thought this was a lot of fun. I wanted you to be part of it. I wanted you to come down and actually see the factory.
I thank you so much for that, and that's one thing I will never forget along my life. You know what I mean? And thank God I'm healthy. You know, I mean, I have a little back problem, that's normal. I'm still going to the gym every day, take care of myself, and that's all you could do.
You just went to the trade show with us.
Yeah,
The trade show
I'm
floor.
fine. I'm fine. You know
Have
what I
a
mean?
good time at the trade
I
show?
don't. Oh, I have the best time, and always. Trade show is always the best, man. The best atmosphere, the best friend over there, and on top of that, the best food in the nighttime.
They have good meals. And my dad loves telling stories. There's an endless amount of people for him to tell
Oh
stories.
yeah, man. And they put me in the desert, I'll find friends.
It's the truth.
I always find friends.
Well, this was a great time. It was awesome going down to the factory yesterday. I know you flew in just for us to do this and shoot this little video. And we're excited when we have the big party and the launch and we get this cigar out there so everybody can see this amazing cigar that Willie made for us and that Sandy blended for us. Willie blended for us, and Sandy did a great job of
He
it.
did blend it.
Yeah, Willie blended. We shot a little video last night when we were there where he talked about the blend and how this is unique and not like any. They use tobacco, so it's not like anything that he's made
It's
before.
really tastes good.
It's a
yeah.
really good cigar. So I'm excited about it. I know you haven't seen the packaging yet. I've seen the packaging. So when the packaging comes, it's going to be a pretty cool box. But, 25 years. I mean, I can't believe I've been in business 25 years and went like that.
I know.
I feel like I just left a couple months ago.
I tell you, time is flying.
Time is flying. So 25 years. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate 25 years than to make a cigar named after my father. So I appreciate
I thank you for that, and
I appreciate all the good.
I wish you the best health and the best life, and
Thank you.
you have a nice family, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I appreciate all the good work ethic and virtue you instilled in us when we were growing up. And the interesting thing is that you did it by example. I have these long lectures and talks with my kids, trying to educate them. They didn't really grow up. They weren't talkers. So we had to learn just by watching, because that's the way they behaved. I mean, it wasn't a lot of major life lessons, but they lived life a certain way. We saw it. We learned it. We absorbed it.
You have a good kids, and they behave very good, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
If you have the whole room full of money and you have one bad kid or two bad kids, it doesn't mean nothing.
I want to thank you, Dad. I'm going to give you a hug. Push us out. I appreciate it, Bob.
Thank you for doing that, and I don't know how I'm gonna pay you. I paid you enough.
He paid me enough. Peace.